We have reports that no fewer than 75 people were convicted within 4 days by a special court set up by the Kwara State Government to try those who flouted the state's environmental laws. Offenders who were tried between Wednesday and Saturday last week and were found guilty and breaching the environmental laws were sentenced to various terms of imprisonment or made to pay fines of between 10,000 naira and 50,000 naira in default of the sentence. The State Commissioner for Environment and Forestry, Hajia Nafisat, confirms this while inspecting some of the equipment and vehicles of the Waste Management Contractors Administration on Sunday. She added that the Ilorin Magistrates Court on Saturday sentenced 14 more persons to a 3-month jail term each for violating the Kwara State environmental law, and noted that a total number of convicted persons within 1 week had reached 75. According to her, this is an indication that the government is resolute about putting a total stop to indiscriminate dumping of refuse in Kwara State. However, the commissioner expressed satisfaction at the level of compliance across the nooks and crannies of the metropolis, even as she implored the residents to always abide by the state sanitation laws. I like to add that part that said that that's the last paragraph now, where she actually said that yes, she expressed satisfaction at the level of compliance. I mean, when you're arresting people who would not want to comply. but let's get your thoughts on this story. I loved it.
Yes, let me quickly commend the Commissioner for Environment. That's a good one. You know, we always tell our public officer that you must get the people updated. You must get the world to know what you're doing. Otherwise, nobody will be aware of that. So hearing that people are being convicted, people are being sentenced to 3 months jail terms.
It's a good one.
Highly commendable.
How is it good?
Yes, the environment is very much sensitive, and there are some persons that don't even bother about the environment. Let me leave the area of the environment. That's not what I want to actually point out here. The issue of the officer, the commissioner, understanding the office he or she is occupying that's what goes for me. Knowing that you were assigned to do this particular task and you looked at the system is not working as expected, is contradicting the mandate given to you by the state government, is contradicting the laws of the land, the laws of the state on environment, and then you decided to take proactive measure to tame that particular anomaly. That is what goes for me. So it's a very good one, and believe me, we Nigerians, even while we blame the government, we have our own problem to the masses. Yes, if you allow the government to also tell you what they are passing through, you discover that some of them are also finding it very difficult to govern because of the attitude of the people they are governing. So we have our own issues. Now, without such approach, it has happened in Kwara State, not just the first state that similar thing has happened before. Even in some of the southern states, you will have heard of something like that. So without that approach, without that measure, believe me, illegal or indiscriminate dumping of refuse will get to the point that even to access the road, even to drive past normal express road will be a difficult task. So I want to commend the commissioner for taking that proactive measure, and such should continue. It shouldn't just be okay because about 70 persons have been jailed and then no. Once he slows the tempo, believe me, they will go back to what they used to do. So he should maintain the tempo and ensure that the environment is being kept clean.
Well, Chief.
Okay, I will deviate from what Mr. Loveday have said because it shouldn't be a political arrest. Do you understand? Because, for instance, if government want to deal with their opponents, they have all stories to give us. Let it not be political arrest. You arrest people that are not supporting your government. You can come up with anything and say, oh, you violate the environmental law.
Is that possible?
It's very possible. It shouldn't be political arrest. It should be real arrest that actually they violated the law. Maybe in River State, we normally have morning sanitations. And it is operative from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning. You don't go out, you don't learn about. Even sometimes they also arrest children because children use the opportunity to play ball on the road.
On the road.
You understand? So if it is like that was a statewide environmental law. This one you are talking about indiscriminate dumping of refuse, which is also a problem because the government sometimes fail to provide designated place for people to dump their refuse. Sometimes within the environment you can walk from, you pay transport, and imagine you are carrying a waste to public transport. Imagine how comfortable with other occupants of that vehicle will feel like. So when you don't provide a designated place closer to the people to dispose their waste, it's an issue. It's a serious business. Waste management is a serious business. Okay? So if we are seeing persons, for instance, we live within this environment, and where we have to dump with our waste product is far above Rumokuru, for instance. You check how many hours that it takes for you just to dump your refuse. So they should also provide means of how people can access the dumping site. 1, 2, they should also provide, I know this state, when the former governor, Dr. Peter Dili, was the governor of this state, there was some recycling bags that they provide, okay? You just tie it in your bags and keep it in front of your house. The refuse managers will just come and pick it up.
Yes.
Okay, you see that there was no large garbage all over the city.
Yes.
Then we are still having it this time. I think within the period, you see that the governor is also managing the waste.
Because before now the whole place was
later.
Yes, the place was dirty.
A few weeks ago in the evening, one of the occupants of the vehicle threw away empty can of water. The driver had to stop and reverse back and no, looking at this area, do you see anything like that? We don't do that here. Come and pick it. The driver had to stop and put the car back.
Wow.
And say, pick it. We don't do that here. It is a culture. So you encourage the people to do the right thing. And don't politicize it. Don't use it against your opponent because it's very easy to use it against your opponent. Once they dump you in prison, I also visited so many prisons within this period I was not here. I visited a prison and I noticed that there are so many people that politicians kept there without attending to their issues. You can say 3 months, they can end up being there in 10 years. Their case file can got lost. And if you don't have anybody that follow up your matter, it becomes an issue. So convicting people is good because if you have violated state law, you need to go in for it. But it should be actually that you violated the law, not because I am not supporting your government.
We hear of people who were arrested and not taken to court, awaiting trial for years. We hear about that. But this is actually not so rampant there when you say after being convicted, that period might be over and they'll still be left in prison. If
they don't release you, how will you come out? How will you come out?
Their file will get missing.
Their file can get missing. I counseling one young man that has been there in prison for 10 years.
No, we should really talk
10
about
10 years he has been released. But your file is not found. If your file is not found, how could they clear you?
Legally released, but illegally
still right there. They cannot access your file. We don't know what even brought you here. But you have been pronounced, they should release you. Because after the judge say, okay, you have to serve 1 month, you are counting day and night. Okay? It will specify how many times you are either concurrently, you are counting day and night, or you take it 24 hours. It's the discretion of the judge to pronounce. Now, after you finish that 1 month, can you force yourself out? No. Can you force yourself and tell the prison management that, oh, look at it? No. Who will even listen to you? So it is expected that if all of us are doing the right thing, including the correctional centers, the commander in charge of each of these correctional centers should keep their record current. Because, for instance, it should be automated. Like me, I have my son that is my information manager. If I want any event, I will tell him, he will record it. Once it's close to that, he will remind me that day you have program so day. He will just quickly remind me that this is water. Because for me, I will forget. And I believe some of these people that are managing this facility, they might have forgotten. So they have a database that once
that
it is that time.
That is funny. Talking about them forgetting.
I'm just.
We're not even expecting them to remember. Like, how do you remember all the people you have? Do you know how many people you have in some of these correctional centers?
And the funny about it is that you can be. Don't expect that. Don't expect that. Sometimes they want to punish you more dearly You can be transported from your state to another state.
I believe